to order, and we will start off with our invocation. And we'll start with the invocation. So, Lord, let us bless this day and our new year, ushering out 2020, which was no one have everybody, well, no one's here, so everybody safely. Amen. So, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's scamper along. The first order of business is Lainey. Would you help us introduce the new planning director? Lainey.
Sorry about that. I had myself muted. I would like to introduce our new planning director, Don Hardy.
Okay.
We should applaud or something.
Yeah, we got to applaud. We've been waiting a long time. Yay.
Yes, we have. So welcome.
Wait, Don, so they know who you are.
Yeah, thank you, Lainey. I'm very excited to be here and working with staff here. There's a really great staff here and lots going on in the city. I'm really impressed with everything that's going on in the city. It's I worked with a lot of jurisdictions in the past, and this city really has a lot of activity going on, and it's diverse, industrial, commercial, residential. That mix is really pretty awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to working with you, planning commissioners, and with the development groups here and looking at the long-term vision for the city and maintaining the livability and the character of the area.
Well, welcome aboard, Don.
Thank you.
Happy to have you in the seat.
Thank you.
Then Lainey, do we have any citizen input on non-agenda items that you know of?
No, we do not.
Okay. Then I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the December 14th, 2020 meeting.
I move to approve the minutes from the December 2020 meeting. What was that, the 14th?
The 14th.
Yep.
Yes, it was. Okay.
I second that.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Doesn't look like we have any new business. Is that correct? Okay. So now we will have public hearing. And tonight there is a matter before the hearing body that requires a public hearing. All questions must be directed through the chair. Any evidence to be considered must be submitted to the hearing body for public access. All written testimony received both for and against shall be summarized by staff and presented briefly to the hearing body during the staff report. Testimony and evidence must be directed toward the applicable review criteria contained in the staff report, the comprehensive plan, or other land use regulations which the person believes applies to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue may preclude appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals based on that issue. At this time, I would ask that any member of the hearing body who has a conflict of interest, please indicate the nature and extent of the conflict and whether you intend to participate in or abstain. Driving through the Taco Bell is not does not present a conflict of interest. So just to let you know. Any conflict of interest, guys? Okay. Also, if any member of the hearing body has had any ex parte contact with anyone prior to this hearing, including a visit to the site, again, not using the facility as to the drive-through, Please declare the nature and extent of such contact at this time. Okay. So our our public hearing will be conducted as follows. First, we'll have a staff report, then questions by the commissioners. Then the applicant will have 5 minutes. Other proponents, not more than 5 minutes. Opponents, not more than 5 minutes. And then rebuttal by the applicant, not more than 10 minutes. I will then close the public hearing. We'll have questions, if any, by the hearing body. And then a discussion and a decision will be made by the hearing body. Let's close the hearing, or the matter will be continued to a date certain in the future. This will be the only notice of that date you will receive. So does anybody have any, let's give the staff report. Lainey?
That will be Brianna.
Brianna. Okay.
Hello, good
Hi, Brianna.
evening. Hi.
Hi.
All right. Let me share my screen. There we go. Can we all see that?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. You guys over just. Okay. Good evening, Planning Commission. My name is Brianna Adata. I'm an associate planner with the City of Canby. Tonight we are discussing a design review 3 for the Taco Bell redevelopment. The applicant has proposed improvements to an existing drive-through restaurant, including moving the drive-through lane closer to the existing building, removing 12 parking stalls, increasing landscaping, building a new trash enclosure, and installing a drive-through canopy. Here we just have a map to get you situated here. 845 Southwest 1st Street is the site address. Here are the fairgrounds, and then we're going southwest. Is the site. So here are the existing conditions of the site. 845 Southwest 1st Street. Highway 99 is actually that frontage. The site is 0.64 acres. It's zoned C2, which is highway commercial. It is within the downtown Canby overlay. They are in the outer highway commercial overlay. And that's actually the main reason that this needs to go to Planning Commission. So we will discuss that a little bit later. The current use is a drive-through restaurant, and the use will remain the same. There is a 7.7% floor area ratio on this site, and that is not proposed to change. And there are 30 parking stalls on this site currently overparked. And I just wanted to draw attention that the parking stalls create kind of this L shape, because we'll see that change later. Okay, a summary of the proposed changes. Again, we're using the existing building footprint. The only change is installation of a walk-in freezer. It's very small. I'll point it out on the site plan later. Again, they're moving the southern portion of the drive-through lane closer to the building. This gets rid of a really unsuccessful landscape strip between the drive-through lane and the building, and it actually relocates that south of the drive-through lane, and it kind of acts as a buffer to the site. They're increasing the total site landscaping from 15 to 20%. They're reducing the number of parking stalls from 30 to 18. They're replacing the existing chain link trash enclosure with a CMU and wood slat enclosure. It's also has a top on it, looks pretty nice. They're installing a drive-through canopy, and they are replacing asphalt and concrete with pervious pavement where possible. Here is that site plan, again, summarizing the changes. We'll start on the left-hand side here. This is the excess parking that they did remove in favor of the landscape buffer along Highway 99. We have the new canopy. You can't really see it there, but that's the location it'll be. The drive-through lane moved closer to the building in favor of this landscape on the southern edge. Overall site landscaping is increasing by 5%. And the new trash enclosure is located here. And you can see also the landscaping does give that some screening as well. Here are the applicable criteria. It's pretty standard for a design review 3. We have general provisions, off-street parking, the zone, our overlay zone, which we'll discuss, access limitations on project density. This does have, this site has 2 driveways and they will both remain. And then just the site and design review criteria that we can touch on. Okay, consistency with overall criteria, the base zone, the use and dimensional standards are consistent with the C2 zone. The project design meets the requirements of the base zone of the C2 zone, but the downtown Canby overlay requirements aren't all met explicitly. So that's what we'll discuss in the next few slides. The parking, there are 17 stalls required and there will be 18 provided. Again, it's really overparked with 30 now, but they'll still be over the minimum. Traffic and utilities, we aren't anticipating much of an impact. The use and building footprint are to remain the same. And again, the access limitations. The driveways are existing and shall remain the same. Okay, getting into this overlay zone. So this is the reason that we are coming to Planning Commission tonight. The site is within the outer highway commercial area of the downtown Canby overlay zone. This means there are additional site design requirements, some of which are not explicitly met by the proposal. The first one is that floor area ratio. In this overlay, it's required that a minimum floor area ratio of 15% is met. We know that that is not met with the current development, and the overall footprint is not going to change. So that 7.7% is proposed to remain. The reasoning for this is the applicant states the nature of the use as a drive-in restaurant, along with required parking stalls, make meeting the standard infeasible. And staff does note that the FAR is existing at the time of application and is not being reduced. The second criteria here is the required length of building along a street is 50 feet. So both along Highway 99E and along 4th Street, the maximum building length is 32 feet 9 inches. And the explanation for this is the lot is deeper than it is wide, and the street facing sides must also accommodate required driveways, parking, and landscaping, as well as building mass. Staff acknowledged that the dimensional standards of parking and circulation can constrain narrow lots, and that minimum parking and landscaping requirements have been met. We saw on the site plan, you could see there's not a lot of extra room. We can't have a building protruding into where a required drive aisle is. It's just not feasible all the time. And the last criteria we need to talk about is the required, jumping ahead a little bit there. The required 45% minimum glazing on the secondary street side, and that's 4th Street. None is proposed, but none is currently there right now. A walk-in freezer is required for this use and has been proposed to front 4th Street as opposed to the busier street of Highway 99E. This elevation is 32 feet 9 inches, and the walk-in freezer will occupy the majority of that length, making glazing infeasible. Staff note this elevation will largely be screened by landscaping. And I just have a little elevation here. This is the walk-in freezer. And then the site plan here, you can see landscaping, and a sizable tree. Overall, we had some correspondence among agencies. We did not receive any public comment. The city engineer is requiring inspections for all public facilities along both frontages. No improvements are required along 4th Street, and the current private storm system is sufficient. The Public Works Director needs the applicant to coordinate with Canby Utility to install street lighting along Highway 99E. That's street lighting, not site lighting. And lastly, wastewater pretreatment coordinator says a grease interceptor is to be installed in place of an existing grease trap. And this is something that they were going to do anyway. We just wanted it codified. Lastly, the conditions of approval. They are included in entirety in the staff report. Here is a quick summary. Again, they are pretty standard for a design review. We have inspections of the public facilities, installation of the street lighting, provide a bicycle parking detail. They did provide an overall bike parking plan. I just need to see the dimensions are met for those particular stalls. We also need a lighting plan. I made this a condition of approval because we are not anticipating the lighting to change on site, save for one pole will be moving, but it is still internal to the site. So I made that a condition of approval. Lastly, we need the building permits through Clackamas County, and we have the landscaping provision for irrigation. And so based on the application submitted, the facts, findings, and conclusions of the staff report, planning staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve application DR 2005, subject to the identified conditions of approval. And I will take questions.
Okay, any questions from the commissioners? Okay.
I don't have any questions. I feel bad when nobody answers you.
Oh, no. Well, I'm thinking I have dead air here, so.
No, I don't have any questions. Nice job, Brianna, by the way.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes.
This is Jeff. I guess I'll also chime in and say it's a good job. I had a couple of points of aggravation I'd like to share, but I don't know if now's the time or after the applicant presents. They're
I would
minor.
say after the applicant, just in case that they decide to address them in their presentation.
They won't, because they're issues of staff work.
Oh, I see.
One of them is a minor irritant that I have often, Brianna, and I've mentioned it before, and that is the use of acronyms that are not defined in the body of the text.
Okay, do you have that example?
LID,
Okay.
low impact development.
Yes.
And the other thing, another request is that when you refer to table 164940 and the completion of the score for the project, and I guess I would encourage you to show your work, provide a summary or a completed table in the body so we can see the work instead of just seeing a percentage.
Sure. That table is actually completed by the applicant and is included in the completed application by them. It was not included in the staff report. You're correct, but it's in the
Well, I guess-
applicant materials.
I guess what I would say is I need staff's confirmation that that is correct then. Okay, so, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, let's move along to, pardon me? Okay, let's move along to the applicant. And who do we have for that purpose?
And that will be Jeff Wright. Can you hear me well?
I can.
Okay. What we have is a renovation of the existing Taco Bell facility. They've been a local business for the last 25 years, going on 26 years in Canby. And they basically, it's to the point where they need to update their facility, both for their corporate side is telling them that they need to, as well as the building just being the age that it needs to be renovated. So at this point in time, they're basically doing an interior and exterior renovation, basically keeping the footprint identical to what it was previously, except for the expansion of the walk-in cooler that's on the back side. It'll get just a little bit larger. And then the windows and the exterior face will be modified on the front half of the building facing 99W. And then the cooking layout is generally going to stay the same inside the building. And the seating area is going to be similar. And the restrooms are just going to be similar, just with minor modifications. So the overall of the building is going to be similar to what they have right now. They are going to reduce the parking in order to get the required landscaping on this site. And then they're also going to go with the modern Taco Bell appearance. However, we're using a faux brick appearance on this building rather than their standard stucco appearance. So that's primarily what we have to do here.
Okay. Any questions for the proponent? Okay. Assuming that there are no questions, thank you very much for your presentation. Opponents to speak in favor of this project. Okay. Are there any opponents that would like to speak to this matter? In that case, assuming that there is no, so I will close the public hearing for this. Okay. Are there any further questions for staff or for the applicant? Jeff?
Yeah, I guess I want to go back to my original question on the completion of the score for table 1649. What page is that on in the package? Because I'm not finding it.
It should be the last 2 or 3 pages of the site and design review type 3 application. I could also share my screen if you'd like. They
Sure.
did meet the minimum points. Okay, let me find that. Here it is.
If I can be of some help here, on the table of contents, it says the application. And it's usually right after the staff report.
Yeah, I just didn't find it, Lainey. I was looking for it and I didn't recall seeing it. So that's why I asked for it.
Okay, can you see that?
I can see that, but I don't see that in my package.
Okay, I'm sorry about that if it's missing.
I think
It
it
should have
is.
been included in the application portion, so I apologize. I'll keep an eye on that in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Brianna or the proponent, applicant? Okay. So I guess we'll move on to, I guess we'll just forge ahead. I will entertain a motion to approve the request for the redevelopment of the existing Taco Bell quick service drive-through restaurant on Southwest First Avenue while retaining the building footprint DR 20-05.
This is Jeff, so moved.
You have a second? Do you have a
I will
second?
second. This is
Okay.
Mike.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's good work. That was quick.
And I had an eye in there, but my dog was barking, so I had to stay muted for a second.
Your dog was barking?
Yeah, so I had to stay muted for a second.
Okay. I'm assuming that you are approving of this.
Yes, I said that I say aye, but I was delayed due to dog.
Okay. Darn dogs. Okay. So this will be the final decision for the top. I will entertain a motion for a final decision for the Taco Bell redevelopment, final findings, DR 20-05.
This is Jeff, so moved.
Do you have a second? A non-barking second?
I second.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, all opposed? There we go. Okay, looks like we're going to get a reinvigorated Taco Bell. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
So-
Thank you.
Moving on to the next item on our agenda. Next item on our agenda is items of interest from the planning staff. Laney or Don?
This is Ryan. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
I just wanted to echo Lainey and say that we're all really excited for Don to start leading our team, and so we congratulate him on joining us, and we think he's going to be a great fit here, and we look forward to all of you getting to know him and work with him.
That will be nice at some point to get to meet him in person.
Yeah, hopefully. The only other thing I wanted to mention was I know we've talked about having a work session on traffic studies, and so there isn't a solid date on that yet, because we're kind of planning a series of work sessions, and some of those will be with council. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we didn't forget about that, and we will come back to you soon with an update on when that will be.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Okay, I see that our next planning commission meeting is scheduled for Monday, January 25th. Is that still correct?
We will have to cancel that meeting.
Lainey?
We don't have any items on it.
Don?
Can you hear me?
Got it.
Hello?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can hear
Apparently
you.
John can't.
She's going to have to cancel that meeting because we don't have any items.
No meeting on the 25th.
Correct.
Yep, sure can. Yeah. Okay. Any, on some staff issues that you had, any other items of interest or guidance from other commissioners?
No, I'm just really glad. This is Jeff. I'm just, I'll chime in and say it's really good to see staff getting up to full strength, and it's great to meet Brianna finally. So I look forward to working with you more in the future. And it's just great to see things hopefully getting one step back to normal anyway.
Yes, yes. Do we have,
Speaking of vacancies, do we have, is there a date on the horizon where we can expect a new commissioner?
I have received notice from Melissa. Somehow her notes to me have been going to my spam file. So, but she did contact me today, and I think that we have at least one applicant. So we're going to set up a Zoom meeting to interview this person.
Is there a deadline for applicants?
Well, I think that time actually has come and gone, but I think that if you know somebody that would like to apply, we can always reopen it at our discretion.
Okay, just curious. I didn't see it really promoted, and thought with the holidays and stuff that might have slowed down the application
Right.
process, so.
Well, I think that we're in uncharted territory as far as interviewing applicants for commissioner positions, because they've always been done in person, and this will be our first opportunity to do that type of interview process in a Zoom meeting. So, which I find very cumbersome, frankly, but I like to meet people face to face, to look them in the eye, to get a feel for the person.
Yeah.
Is my, so any other thoughts on that?
Nope, just curious.
We do
Right.
have a new liaison.
We do. Sean Barwick. Is he with us? Is he with us this evening?
He
No.
might be watching. I'm not sure. If he is, wave at him.
Okay. In that case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I
Second.
second.
I think you
All
got
in
a
favor,
second.
say aye. Okay.
Aye.
Yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.